have about 60 plus active GSAs in the Central Valley, and this is the region from Stockton down to right before Bakersfield. It's a huge region. And we have, like I said, a little bit over 60, I believe. The issue that we're coming across here, and I think this might tie into a question that you're going to ask later, but we have a lot of more GSAs than 60, but we don't, as a GSA network, know about them or know that they're active because most GSAs in schools do not know or haven't yet re-registered with GSA Network. And re-registration is a simple process where they, go to gsanetwork.org, click on directory, and then under that tab is register your GSA. And if you have a GSA that already exists in our directory, then it links you to this list of all of our schools, and you find your code, your school code, and you put that in your re-registration page, and you just fill it out. It's basically just giving us an update of where your GSA is so that we can provide the appropriate resources, right? So if we have about 60 GSAs, I guarantee that there's at minimum, 20 to 40 or 60 more who just haven't registered with us, and so we're not even sure that they're still active. We do our best to kind of go out, and when I talk to other organizations and I find out, oh, what school are you from? And then they're like, oh, we're from Mount Whitney, or I'm from Sierra, and then I'm like, oh, they're not even active on our directory, then I'll go back and say, oh, they came to Summit, they must be having, meetings and this and this. But it's really hard for any person to take care of a region from Stockton and Bakersfield, right, and update all those things. And so it's an availability that we have online for students to kind of go on and re-register their GSA by themselves. They can do it with their advisor, they could do it on their own. It's completely fine. And if we have multiple registrations, then we kind of just merge the files so that we have more information on that one GSA. So the reason why re-registering GSAs or letting us know that you're still active is so important is because that's how we send out resources. So at the beginning of every year, we send out the beginning of the year mailing, which are tons of resources that we have to support the entire year. So maybe that's a calendar that GSA Network develops from youth's perspectives on what days are really important, right? Like the Day of Silence, Black History Month, and give you some anecdotes on like who you can highlight for Black History for, to make it LGBTQ Black History Month, things like that. And we give this calendar of resources letting folks know like when to check up on our website, or also pamphlets on different campaigns to lead. And those are all resources we give at the beginning of the year. We also send out mailings throughout the year that let folks know of big conferences or one-day trainings that are coming up. We don't have you registered and we have an address that's from 10 years ago, or we have an advisor from 15 years ago, then we send that information and then it doesn't get given to the GSA members. And then that becomes a real issue because then we get contacted by individuals saying, I haven't gotten something, and then we check their status and they actually haven't registered for 10 years. It's like, well, we have registration from 10 years ago, would you like to go re-register? And that really helps us keep up to date the information so that we can send out the resources and you are getting all those free resources when as early as possible. So it's really, really important that GSAs, not only in the Central Valley, but all over the state, re-register. And in the Central Valley, this is the region that has the least amount of GSAs re-registering. Right? This is the region where the Central Valley Program Coordinator, like myself, has to literally go out and find out who is active, and that is important for us to get to know and outreach, but it also limits my capability of really getting those resources out, right? Because then I'm always doing data entry, or I'm trying to figure out who's new and who's not. And so this year has been a big foundational year in recreating our knowledge of which GSAs are active in the Valley. So go to gsanetwork.org, click on directory, and then click on re-register your GSA, and it'll tell you how to do that.